Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. We are into the Texas Stadium show, witnessing matches from the third parade of champions. Only two matches on today's program, although that is because they are both big level matches, given a good bit of time, and they are packed into 41 minutes of action. We have the fabulous Freebirds, all three of them, six-man titles, Von Erichs and Steve Simpson in your opening bout, and Bruiser Brody challenging for the world-class world championship against Rick Rude, which I was surprised when I saw that particular match. Brody in a world championship match scenario, a big deal. Of course, remember the Von Erichs and Freebirds have been, for lack of a better term, carrying the entire territory on and off since the end of 1982. We're now in 1986, on and off pairings. Yes, there was a break in the middle, but still, that pairing of people has been with each other for the better part of going on 4 years now. And that's a big deal. Who could do that today? Anyway, there is a strap match component to this. Fritz von Erich, the patriarch of the von Erich family, is at ringside. The Von Erichs are going to go, and they are going to be at the best. Fritz basically says that the Von Erichs are going to handle this once and for all. The Freebirds are going to get tossed around, and it's elimination style. So the hope for Fritz is that he gets his hands on Michael Hayes, whom he blames for most of the problems. Lance, Kerry, and Steve Simpson against Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, and Buddy Roberts. They get a good bit of time. Roberts and Gordy and Von Erich to start off here. And I mean this is probably, I can't even begin to. There aren't even matches that would speak to the level of value here. A one count only off a high cross body from the top, reversal by Kerry Von Erich. Gordy comes off and Kerry reverses it. They are just viciously fighting. Michael Hayes into the ring in a brawling style. Obviously, nobody wants to go to the outside. Nobody wants to get hit with leather straps, but they do go to the outside. Fritz among others on the outside, not happy, and Hayes gets cast out first and literally rolls back in quicker than a hiccup. Gets sent back out, and Fritz nails him with shot with that leather strap, and Michael Hayes ping-ponging all the way around. Tag off to Buddy Roberts. Roberts on the receiving end of a double axe handle from the top from Steve Simpson. Interesting that Simpson is the chosen third partner for the Von Erichs. Also interesting, maybe Kevin out of wrestling at this point. Don't really know what's going on, why Kevin wouldn't be there, but certainly that's just interesting to me. But anyhow, snap suplex by Terry Gordy. Gordy, of course, hits the snap suplex with great authority. Gordy, of course, kind of cut his teeth majorly in this area alongside Georgia. Meanwhile, Tatum and the grappler with some shots to Steve Simpson with the belts on the outside. Of course, the heels can use the belts too. That's the idea. A guy rolls out and he gets belted literally. So obviously Simpson is in trouble for the next several minutes. Buddy Roberts sends him in, hits him with a couple of hard shots along the way. Simpson is a guy who certainly gets a rub from even being in this match, even being thought of for this match, a big deal for his career. Kerry Von Erich back in, goes nuts on Terry Gordy. Big back body drop up into the open arena air. Everybody in the ring for a little while, everybody brawling around, and there is a mock victory as the first elimination does take place. and Kerry is double teamed. 1, 2, and 3. Kerry Von Erich, the first one eliminated. Big shock there, so certainly looks to be a huge upset. You can see Fritz and the other Von Erichs at ringside, not happy with this. Also, Steve Simpson and uh, Buddy Roberts are going to go at it again. Freebirds have the advantage as we go through. Lance Von Erich hits a high cross body from the top, does not eliminate Michael Hayes quite yet, but that's the goal. Lance sends him around the ring, and we do see a good bit of chaos. Terry Gordy with a kick, and a kick from Terry Gordy is the same as a kick in the mouth by a mule. Um, so then we kind of see Gordy taking Lance Von Erich down. Interesting to see Kerry eliminated first. I don't quite understand the psychology of eliminating Kerry first. Hard shot by Michael Hayes. Hayes has better hands than a lot of people give him credit for. The double team on Von Erich for the next several minutes, and the Freebirds get the advantage, keep the advantage. Buddy Roberts hits a rolling neck breaker, and then Michael Hayes comes back in with Lance Von Erich. Von Erich takes the lion's share of the match for the next several minutes. Needless to say, Michael Hayes is not happy when he cannot get rid of the very tenacious Von Erich in what he considers to be quick enough fashion. Back, cut off the ring, do the Freebirds on Von Erich. Michael Hayes gets sent to the outside and gets strapped for several minutes, including on the backside. Fritz hits him with about 5 good shots. Meanwhile, the rest of the Von Erichs have broken down. Kevin goes into the ring, and that breaks down. The match does break down into complete chaos. The referee admonishing Kevin on the outside. The continuation of the match is allowed by the referee, which is kind of surprising with the amount of chaos that takes place. They are literally probably about almost 20 minutes into the contest. Lance Von Erich still getting beat on and chastised by his adversary. Finally, Gordy is not in a good place, and there's a tag to Steve Simpson as well. Simpson comes in, cleaning house on, at this point, Michael Hayes with some drop kicks and other intense maneuvers here. Big back body drop by Simpson. Simpson on Hayes is quite an interesting thing, and I might like to see them in a singles match somewhere down the road just from the intensity of Steve Simpson here. Michael Hayes comes out of the corner with a bulldog on Simpson, and Simpson doesn't perhaps sell it as best he could. Sidewalk slam by Hayes, and one would assume a victory is coming, but Hayes doesn't even go for the pinfall. Sunset flip 1, 2, 3, and Michael Hayes is eliminated after 2 offensive maneuvers. So horrible psychology in that particular exchange. But now we're down to, I believe, 2-2. Michael Hayes sent to the outside. The more of the match to come post that. Keep in mind, I mean, they literally go. I think they're about 20 plus minutes into this match at this point. Steve Simpson in there with Terry Gordy. Gordy, the largest of the Freebirds. Gordy sent to the outside where he gets strapped for just a few seconds. Gordy doesn't hang out there very long. Mocks like he wants to fight everybody, but doesn't stay out there long enough to do it. Simpson gets covered with several good shots from Gordy, among other things. I mean, this is probably one of the better matches there. I believe a lariat from, or actually no, top second rope inside double axe handle by Buddy Roberts gets a victory for the Freebirds. Steve Simpson, easy for me to say, is eliminated. So now we're down to 2 of the Freebirds against Lance Von Erich. Again, I would assume Kerry in this position would have been better, but maybe Kerry having a bad day, whatever. Super kick odd by Gordy. 1, 2, only a 2 count on that particular foray into things. Gordy having a lot of trouble putting away Von Erich. Gordy goes to the outside via a drop kick by Lance, and Lance with the pinfall over Gordy with a stomach claw. So that's there, and all the baby faces in the ring post that. And Lance Von Erich, I guess, wins the championship for the Von Erich family. The six-man tag team championships now, I guess, technically belong to Kerry Von Erich, Lance Von Erich, and Steve Simpson. Interesting six-man combination. I'm not necessarily sure that by 86 they needed the six-man belts, but it does differentiate them from other promotions, so maybe that's just why they kept them. Anyway, the World Championship up next. They're given, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so. Bruiser Brody and Rick Rude. Rick Rude, of course, accompanied by Percy Pringle. Brody here in the babyface role, obviously, and many people would think that he would have what it takes to beat a Rick Rude. But at the same time, his commitments in Japan, several thousands of dollars a week, far supersede anything that he was getting in North America at the time. So certainly, him getting that belt probably not in the best interest of everyone involved. Brody, though, with some power moves early and then breaks down into a front face lock. Rude wearing some white tights this time around, attempts to snapmare Brody, and that doesn't go very well for Rude. Rude does manage to stand toe-to-toe with Brody a couple of times, which is a bit of a surprise. Would be interesting to see in a real fight where that would have gone. Rude manages to get a foot over the bottom rope. Brody not happy with that, so he pulls him back up, starts the front face lock all over again. Brody, not a guy who likes to waste a lot of motion. Percy Pringle on the outside with Rude, obviously. Rude has Brody in a reversed chin lock. He doesn't get all he wants out of that maneuver. Tries to put him to sleep. Doesn't get all he wants out of that either. They work that hold for a good 3-4 minutes here. Then they finally go to the floor. Rude sending Brody into the pole. And Brody going into the pole does lead them back into the ring in short form. It is, Rick Rude not wanting Brody to get back in, tries to cut him off, and I wouldn't want to be in there with that big man if I could help it either. But anyhow, Rude does stand toe-to-toe with him now that he's been sent into the post. Big vertical suplex by Brody, almost into a falling power slam. 1, 2, but Rude out the back door, surprising everybody in the stadium. And Brody tries to hit the running knee, but it has to modify to a leg drop as Rude up on his hands and knees, and you're not going to hit a running knee in the back of a guy's neck. Anyway, Brody lands with his leg over the bottom rope on an offensive maneuver by Rude. This causes Percy Pringle to take the leg off the rope. Brody goes after Rude, and Rude is to the outside. Needless to say, Brody wants whatever advantage he can get, and Percy Pringle trying to console Rude on the outside. Grabs the belt because I do believe Bruiser Brody sends Rude over the top rope, which is a disqualification. Comes back in from behind right before, and yes, does send him over the top, which is a disqualification. Doesn't seem to bother Brody any. Meanwhile, he gets a few licks in on Percy Pringle, maybe 1 or 2 before Pringle runs away, and that is the close of this particular edition of things. We'll be back with more right after that.